Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be doing another kind of marker challenge, but I was going to do the 3 marker challenge, but then I decided I wanted to kind of create a character and I wanted the colors for the character to be chosen randomly, so like the actual color palette for the character I would choose randomly from all my Copic marker colors. So I ended up doing a 5 marker challenge because I figured 5 colors is good enough for a palette for a character, but you can really do as many as you want. I've seen similar things like this done before, where like you just choose random colors, you come up with a random character, especially with like Draw with Jazza's new app. It's kind of similar to that, but I just wanted to do another marker challenge, and so at first I was coming up with a character, just some random design, like it's not too original, it's just something I wanted to work with for this challenge video. So I was just sketching it out using my red Prismacolor col-erase pencil and just a few different versions of it on one piece of paper. But so yeah, instead of the character aspects being random, I actually created the character, and then I chose 5 random colors from my marker collection, and then I actually scanned it. I made it bigger, so it's about half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of my sheet of paper, and I brought it into Photoshop, made it bigger, and printed it. And then I'm going over it again with like a pen and a pencil just to like refine the details even more, because her original design I thought was pretty bland, so I added some details here and there just to give me something to actually work with. So some actual detailing, and I really, the anatomy of her face bothered me so much, so I ended up fixing it after I line arted it, but I will get to that once I start line arting it. And I really liked the way she was turning out in the sketch better than the actual line art that I did and the coloring. I just feel like somehow their personality is lost once I line art them, because they become really stiff and somehow their eye shape changes, and I always like my sketches better, but that just shows that I have to sketch cleaner and line art cleaner and follow the lines better, because I tend to kind of go outside the lines a little bit when I'm line arting, because I think, oh, this will look better here, and then it kind of messes up. And I'm realizing now I always draw my characters with the same expression, so I've been trying to sketch out different expressions, and just the default expression is just like a slight smile, and I keep doing that, so I'm trying to not do the same expression all the time. So I wrote out all my Copic colors onto tiny pieces of paper, and then I folded them all up and put them inside this glass jar thing that I have. So then I picked 5 of them from the jar, just so you know that I'm not cheating, because I'd rather not show my face. Well, I don't really have a way to show my face, I don't have 2 cameras, but so then I'm just picking out my colors, unfolding them. I actually ended up with really good colors, which I was not expecting. I ended up with a good range of values and some actual color to work with. I did get 2 grays, which is kind of hard to work with because one of them was a cool gray and one of them was a warm gray. They actually ended up layering really nicely, and it gave the drawing kind of like a cool metallic feeling to it, sort of, because she is wearing metal, like an armor kind of thing. So it worked out really well, and I got a perfect skin tone. So I don't know, a lot of you probably thought I cheated, but I did not. So these are my colors. I was very happy with them, and it was a lot of fun. These colors just blended together nicely, and except for the green, like I found it hard to shade the green and the purple, and eventually I just started using every color for every area of it, and it was starting to kind of all look the same, but I used every color depending on if it was a highlight, or like I would just like add the hue in. And this is a really, I think 5 markers is a good challenge too. The 3 marker challenge is even more challenging because you only have 3 colors and you don't have that much choice. Like you have to use every color, and you might not get colors that layer together nicely, so then it might end up looking plain. But with this challenge, I have, like, 2 extra markers actually makes a really big difference. And I think it works out well if it's like a character and you want an actual color palette. So whatever your lightest or whatever color, not necessarily your lightest, could be your darkest color, but you have to choose one of them for the skin tone. And I actually got a skin tone, so that worked out really, really nicely. And the cool gray and the warm gray blended really, really nicely together. I love the tone they create. It's like a warm, metallic kind of gray looking, even though the parts I just colored weren't metal, but it just kind of gives it that like rustic kind of look. And of course I made her hair warm gray. I love drawing hair with warm gray. I don't know why, I just really like those colors as hair, so it's always my go-to hair color. And then I used the skin color for the highlights on her hair, and that worked out really well too. And then after I colored all these parts, okay, so first of all, I colored the face, and then I used a colorless blender to blend it out. And then I thought, maybe that's cheating. I don't know. If it's cheating, like, I'm still only using that color. Like, the colorless blender doesn't have color in it. Kind of like the 5-color challenge, not really marker, but I guess it depends on how you want to do it. But then I ended up coloring over her face with the skin color, so it's like I didn't use it. But I think I used it to clean up the edges of the drawing. I don't think that's cheating. I don't know. It's art. It doesn't matter if it's cheating or not. As long as you had fun and you learned something. That's all that matters. And I don't know why, but like purple and green together, I just always think that's kind of like a cool sort of combination. Like, they're not complementary colors, but there's something about them that look really nice together. I think it actually has to do with the color wheel. I think they're part of like triads. I don't know, I just looked that up to see, and I kind of remember something about that, so that's probably why they look good together. And that's why the warm gray looks nice with it too, because orange would be involved in this triad. So I basically got a really good color palette for this. So it was fun to layer all the colors, because I usually don't layer colors that much, and I should. Like, that's how you're supposed to color. Like, even if you're coloring something green, green isn't the only color that's in there. There's going to be blues, and there's going to be yellows, and there's going to be other colors depending on the environment. And I just need to learn to do that more with my Copic markers, because with digital art I do try to do that. It's a lot easier to do that with digital art, because anything, like, you can try something out, and if it doesn't work you can just undo it or like paint over it. With Copic markers you have one chance, and I think that's why I'm not too experimental with them, and I should be. So these challenge videos are really good to get me out of my comfort zone using them. And I always feel like I can make it look better, but somehow I rush it. I don't know, like, there's something about the Copic markers that make me go really, really fast, because I think you need to, just so that you get like an even coat. And I used to like be kind of stressed when I colored with these, and now I'm realizing you can just keep layering the colors and eventually it will smoothen out, but part of me still always just kind of rushes it. And I should really take my time more, because I know that it will look better if I take my time and add more detailed shading, but you know, my shading's like really plain with Copic markers. So I want to work on that. And that's why I keep going back to Copic markers. I just really love them. Or just any alcohol-based markers. Like, it doesn't have to be Copics. I just love how smooth they are, and they're much better than water-based markers. So now I'm going in with my white gel pen just to bring out highlights of some things. And I realized with this I did not pick a light source, which is really, it's not a good idea to do that. I should have thought of it before I started coloring, and then I just realized I didn't have one. I guess it's kind of coming from, I don't know, it's like it's coming from everywhere. Not a good thing to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed this like character design challenge thing, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.